Hello everybody and welcome. My name is Julia and I'm here today with a first impressions video, and today we're going to be having a look at these true love reading cards. To be honest, I'm always on the lookout for good cards to read in relationship spreads. There's not that many of them around, really, I don't think, or not that many that really speak to me anyway. So I was really pleased when these cards came and I had a look at them, and they really do resonate quite a lot. There's some beautiful cards in this deck. So anyway, these are by Belinda Grace. They're published by Rockpool Publishing, and as I said, they're called reading cards, true love reading cards. I think the artist Laurie Banks is the person who did the artwork for the cards there, and they are gorgeous cards actually. Yeah, Belinda Grace and illustrations by Laurie Banks. I think Belinda Grace is a clairvoyant healer. I think she's based in Australia, if I remember rightly. Anyway, inside the box, it's a nice little box. It's got a nice little sort of magnetic closing on the side of it. It's a nice sturdy little box. I like boxes like this because I think they fit in quite nicely in your bookshelf. So anyway, what does it say on the back of the box? Bring the joy of love and romance into your life with this beautiful set of true love reading cards. Learn about what you truly need in relationships, what you long for, and how to attract it into your life as you become more emotionally and spiritually fulfilled. Imbued with healing energy and colour, the cards have been channeled through the highest frequency by fine artist Laurie Banks. They come with a really, really nice little book here, actually. Really nice little book. Let's have a little flick in through here. So the copyright of this deck is 2015. So they've been around a while. To be honest, this is just recently is the first time that I've seen them. The introduction, it says, most people crave love, romance, and a great relationship at some point in their lives. This desire is as natural and beautiful as the seasons, yet we often find that search for a partner and our experiences of relationships are difficult and disappointing, raising more questions and issues than we ever had before. By accessing the wisdom within these cards, you can connect with a deeper level of your own truth and knowing, resolve issues that continue to bother you, and step onto the path of joy. Often the solutions are simple and your heart will recognize its own truth. Be open as the cards encourage you to embrace this wisdom and develop your own version of it. There is no right or wrong way to be, or to love and be loved. The best way for you will be the way your own heart guides you as you listen to your inner knowing or intuition. Enjoy these cards and use them to help you access the potential that is already a part of who you are. So that's really nice, isn't it? There's a few pages in the book on how to use the cards, guidance on specific issues and questions. There's a couple of spreads there, and then there's really quite a lot of information on each card. You get a lovely sort of almost full card size picture, plus a whole page of information. I don't remember how many cards are in this deck. Let's just have a look. There's 36 cards in this deck. As I said, Belinda Grace is a clairvoyant healer. She's based in Australia. And Laurie Banks, where is Laurie Banks? Yeah, she's Australian as well. She has exhibited throughout Melbourne and further afield. There's contact details for both of these people in the book. And then at the end there's more reading cards. I didn't realise there were so many. There's clairvoyant reading cards, Australian wildflower, Buddhism, Australia, astrology reading cards, dream time, dreams reading cards, fortune reading cards, and crystal reading cards. So it would appear that Rockpool Publishing do lots of different kinds of reading cards, which I will have to have a look into, I think. Anyway, let's get the cards out and I will go through them quickly with you, and I think at the end what I shall do is shuffle the cards and draw one and read from the book, just so that you get an idea of what is said in the books. Let me just turn my heater down. So the first card, abundance. We can see what that means, can't we? That is truly abundant. They're quite childlike, I think, the images on these cards. They're quite childlike, but I like them. They've got a really warm and vibrant feeling to them. And it's not difficult to get information from them, you know, it's not difficult to intuit some of the messages within these cards. Boundaries. Chivalry. He just looks the absolute essence of chivalry there, doesn't he? Commitment. Beautiful swans. Compatibility. As I said, you can see these are quite childlike, really. They look, you know, the illustrations almost look like they could come out of a fairy story, don't they, or a children's story. But they definitely tell a story. Connection. Creativity. Dating. The distorted feminine. Very interesting. The distorted feminine. The distorted masculine. I am looking forward to using these. I think they're very interesting. The divine feminine. That's beautiful, isn't it? The divine masculine. All of the symbology in these cards is all very masculine, isn't it? I think that's what I like about these cards. Even though they're quite simple, there's just tons of symbology in them. Tons. Emotional freedom. Forgiveness. The garden. It's a very fertile place for things to grow, isn't it? The gardener. Very nice. Inner peace. That's just lovely, isn't it? Intimacy. life's purpose, love, luminosity. Very Lakshmi looking there, isn't she? Manifestation, maturity, the rainbow reviver. It'll be interesting to see Linda's take on this, the rainbow reviver. Reparenting yourself, very, very important, I think, as many of us are becoming aware of these days. I watch a lot of videos by the holistic psychologist, and she talks a lot about reparenting ourselves. Very, very, very useful. Resolving conflict. The sacred woman. Self-respect. Serendipity. How beautiful. Sexual freedom. Sexuality. The silver waterfall. Again, I could let my imagination run away with me with that card, but I don't really know what that card means. Soulmates. Spiritual maturity. Worthiness. And lastly, yin and yang. So there we go. There we go. So that's all 36 cards, and as you can see, the vast majority of them there are really quite self-explanatory, and leave lots and lots of room and potential for your imagination and your intuition to clasp hold of the information on the card. But there's 2 or 3 of them that I will probably have a little read of the book, just because I'm not entirely sure what might be meant by them. Yeah. Anyway, let's just pick a card, and I shall read from the book. Okay, so we've got the distorted feminine, which is probably one of the cards that I was less sure about. I would say this is the divine feminine, perhaps in her shadow attributes of some kind, but I don't really know. So let's have a read. There's a lot of information here, actually. So, the distorted feminine may not appear to run the world in the same way the distorted masculine does, yet is just as commonplace and equally destructive. The distorted feminine is characterized by negative emotions, depression, neediness, a sense of going around in circles, or need for pointless drama, feeling unattractive or being trapped and powerless. Blimey. I think we've all felt most of those things at some point or another, haven't we? In this mode, the feminine can even be dishonest by means of manipulation, not saying what she really means, or by being unclear about what she needs. This is people pleasing, isn't it? So this gives rise to unspoken or even unfair expectations. The distorted feminine may seek to catch out or trip up another in order to have something to be angry or upset about. This need for attention, whatever the cost and expression of insecurity, can damage her health, her relationships, and even her career prospects. You are. After centuries in the shadows, receiving little credit for her effort and shouldering guilt and blame at the hands of global institutions, the feminine is tired. Maybe she feels unloved and unsupported by the masculine in her world. Maybe life seems like a struggle. While some of these things may be true, remaining in the distorted feminine is not the way to resolve them. You have drawn this card today because the distorted feminine is lurking somewhere in your life and is asking to be acknowledged and healed. Being honest with yourself about what's really happening is the first step towards empowerment. Are you constantly becoming involved with the wrong kind of people? Do you blame your mate for the things that aren't working in your life? Do you second guess yourself or imagine that other people think ill of you? Are you afraid to ask for what you really need and want? Or are you waiting until someone else figures it out and gives it to you? Are you dwelling on old feelings of hurt or disappointment? Your angels and spirit guides want you to know that now is the time to bring this energy to the surface. Bless it for what it has taught you and then let it go. It is time to live in and for the present. Well, that's quite heavy, isn't it? But quite interesting and quite relevant, I think, to many of the kind of stages that us women go through in life at times. This is kind of an immature feminine energy, isn't it? I was wondering what the whole thing about the woman in the shell and the flow of the light and the current going upwards, but it's about forgiving, isn't it? It's about bringing things to the surface, isn't it? Yeah, of course. It's about bringing things to the surface, things that might be hidden, things that you may have been stuffing or repressing or projecting onto other people. It's about bringing those things to the surface and shining a light on them to help you to understand your behaviour, to understand your motivations, to help you to understand your relationships in life. So there we go. It was just a quick little look at these cards. I hope to use them in a reading fairly soon, so you may well be seeing those soon. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed that. I hope that that was interesting, and please do leave me a comment, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. And I shall see you again soon, I'm sure. Thank you.